Welcome back to Satisfactory, update 6. My name is Nilaus, and we have another build for you today. It is a culmination of 12 hours of work, so I think that's actually a really good way for me to sort of, in the beginning, just to give you an idea about how long it actually takes to build things in Satisfactory. And when I try to compress it down to a 20-minute video, then, well, there are some corners that will be cut. Obviously. Thank you very much, everyone, for following this series here on YouTube and liking, subscribing, commenting. I really appreciate that. And of course, everyone who is also participating on Twitch, where I'm streaming this Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays. You can see that over on the right-hand side. There we go. Tuesday, Thursdays, and Sundays at 8 p.m. Central European Time. And I really enjoy the interaction and the talks we have. So let's take a look at what we're going to do today. Well, we are going to start doing trains, and we're going to do circuits. The build is all about the circuits, and as you can probably tell from thumbnail and title, it's going to be something without oil. Very interesting, I think. But we're also going to start messing with trains, because I think it's time for us to sort of graduate from belts to trains and stuff like that. So let's start by looking at our options for circuit boards. Circuit boards and trains, it's almost like playing Factorio. So this is a default recipe. This is pretty bad. I am often using this one here because it's Caterium and then plastic. It's really good, but the fact that it needs plastic is kind of This one is exclusively using oil because it's petroleum coke, so you can actually make it from oil exclusively. But then there's the fourth one that I find it to be most interesting, at least from the concept of today. I've never built this and I want to build it. This is copper into sheets, and it is silica, and then we get quite a decent amount of circuit boards. So this is the one we're going to do today, because then we don't have to mess with any. I was about to say we don't have to mess with refineries, but oh boy, do we need a lot of refineries. But we don't need to mess with. I was about to say we don't have to mess with liquids, but damn, do we need a lot of water. Anyway, I'm going to build this because I'm going to build this. And I think it's more fun because we don't have to mess with oil then. Then let's say that's oil. We are environmentally friendly, so we're not going to be doing any oil builds. So what is the first thing we want to do is we want to find a place for us to build a new home, for example. And we have a beautiful new home here. As we can see, I want to move gradually further into the new coastal area and build sort of on top of, in between these things. And I found this location to be an appropriate location. I try to keep these little trees here, but let's see how long they're going to stick around. Let's see what we can do in terms of the build, and then I will show you the process that I go through in order to determine how to build a build, where, how big, what ingredients, what recipes that we want to do. Now, first we've selected the recipe, and we selected that one because, well, it's kind of interesting to not doing any oil here. So here we have the different circuits, and we are going to take electrode circuit board. Weird that it's called electrode, whatever. This one. This is the one we're going to need, and that's just copper sheets in and silica inbound as well. So we can have silica is coming from here. Silica only has, actually it does have 2 recipes, doesn't it? Yeah, it has the normal one and the annoying one. We're not going to do the annoying one because I am very often prioritizing having as few materials in as possible rather than having the highest efficiency. Reason is it takes an god-awful long time to set up new locations. So having 3 inputs in means an extra station, both on the unloading side, on the loading side, and a whole set of new tracks and ramps and all that stuff. So we are going to do this one, the direct one, and we'll just have to mine a bit more of the silica. So that is how we get the silica. Then we can also take a look at our option for copper sheets. Well, these copper sheets are not going to be great. If we do this, then I am just going to need some smelting here. That'll be to get some copper, 30 inbound and 20 outbound. We can do that, but the issue is that it's 2 copper for 1 sheet. That's really bad ratio. And if we look at it here, I'm going to take 27.5 for each of these. What? Didn't I get anything here? Silica. So that's easily able to keep up if you want to say it like that, but that's actually a 3 to 5. That means if I want to really scale up to a high amount of resources, then this is not going to be a problem because it's 3 to 5. And that means if I need 11 here, then I need 7 silica inbound or something to that effect. And here though, if I am going to take 11 copper sheets, then 11 copper sheets is going to be 22 copper ingots. So now we have a really bad ratio where silica is something we need like 7 of for each product, and here I need 22. That's not good. So what if we can come up with better ratios for this, such as starting by making some wet copper, and that's already going from 15 to, or from 6 to 15, so high degree of resources here. That's super nice, but we can get it even better than that by also getting some moist sheets. I don't know what the real title is. Steamed copper sheets. Yeah, well, that's just moist sheets. And you can think of that what you want. That is a 1-to-1 ratio. So first, if we get a 6 to 15 ratio, and then we get a 1-to-1 ratio, that means we basically get 6 copper into 15 here. That means if we just scale it down, then we're talking about like 4 copper or something for each one of these crafts. Between 4 and 5 copper, raw copper ore, and 7 silica. This is great. This is super nice. So that's what we're going to do. Unfortunately, it's going to do a silly amount of water in, but those are our objectives. So what I am going to do, and this is what I always do, is trying to find a reasonable sort of maximum. So what I'm saying is, since copper is the stuff that I need the least of, then what if we take copper ore plus some water and make it into ingots? So the copper ore, my fastest build is 480, so let's assume that we get 480 copper ore in. Then we start scaling up and saying, okay, so it's 320 water, that gives us 1200 copper ingots. So if I need to have the copper ingots, then I also get that into copper sheets. And if I have that much copper sheets, then I also need the same amount of silica. So how much silica is that? 720 silica. That's a lot here, and that'll give us a maximum of 545 circuits. Now that is an absolute horror to build that, and it's kind of, this is one of the problems with the really big builds, is you go from having 0 circuits to having 549 circuits. That's not good. So what I did was I am scaling it down, divided by 3, and then get some really nice numbers. Everything we have here, the largest quantity is 400, 400, 400, 400, 400, 400. And that means none of this will exceed the belt capacity of 1 belt. Plus, if we look at the water, I have 107 water, plus I have 400 water. So it's less than 600 water. That means it's less than one water pump. So that means we're going to be building this part, and then we can potentially come back and build 2 more levels on top if we really want to scale it up. That's the more modular view of it. And for that, we need 15 of the final products builds here, and 18 and 11 and 11. So that is what we need to build, and we're going to build it right here. That means what I'm going to do is I will take just the default. We'll just start by making it from here. And this is where it takes just a god-awful time to do the alignment. You know what? There's a really easy way to do alignment. If I'm just staying in this corner and just make that whooshing sound, then let's see what happens. And there we go. We have now built all of this. It is beautiful. Now, there's still a few things missing, but at least we have things getting on here. Basically, the idea of this location is that now the first one over here, we'll make the copper ingots, and now you start seeing why this is a 12-hour build. Copper ore coming in, copper ingots going out. That will be going up on here, and then merging in and become copper sheets. Copper sheets go out here, which will then go out on this belt and moving into that one, I think. Then here we'll have the silica production all the way down, and that will then go from... Yeah, well, if this was placed correctly, it's not. Ah, wow. Wow, wow, wow. It should be like this. There. And then it'll go like that, and then go in. So still a few things to take care of, but this just gives us a sense of how big this has to be. But it's then going to be... there's many more questions, because where do we get the copper from? Where do we get the silica from? That's going to be the next headaches, and therefore we need to just go a bit up. And I think by going up, we can also just get a better view of this part here. There we go. That's looking good. All right, so that's at least that part built. Now, if I'm standing here and scanning for silica, let's see where we get the silica. and we wait. And we wait some more. So this needs to be hooked up with belts, power, recipes. Yeah, that's it. And then we also need inbounds and outbounds. It's just still waiting. There we go, finally. Let's go to the map, and we have it right here. So this is where we built like a very beginning, just a little stockpile local factory. We're gonna get there. So my idea is I want to build a track here, and get it as close to this as possible, and then get over here, and then get it in here, and basically go through this location because we need to also get it, and then have a little station on this side. So that's one part. And what about copper then? That's gonna be easy, right? Copper is super easy. And that means it is time for us to build some tracks. There we go. That is, well, that's the first. That one will be the next one. And it's actually where we're looking towards here. So with these distances, well, I think trains are about the right solution to this. So let's have a look at what and why and how we're going to build trains. I'm going to build the same train design as we have built in the previous series in my update 5. So I found a location here where we can sort of sneak it in underneath. We can get it all the way over here to the edge. Can I even build a train here? Yeah, I can actually build one. Nice. No power. Yeah, you should have prepared that. Anyway. All right, so let's see. This is now a problem, another little headache that we always have when building trains is the ungodly amount of space that they actually need. So what I've done is we tried sort of figuring it out here, and we just, with the good input from chat, it found out that it was actually better if I could just get it bit up. So I've done this part here where you can actually branch out. It goes up and it goes over. A modern flyover for trains. I don't know what it's called with trains, but if it was vehicles, then this would definitely be a flyover. So this is the outbound tracks going back in and merging back on the main line. I really like this design, and I think that it actually works. Then we'll have 3 stations here. Just getting it working on the last one. First one will be the circuit boards out, because we're going to transfer those to probably our computer factory eventually. Then we will have copper inbound and silica inbound. And then we'll have all the stuff that will then be brought underneath here, over to this location, and brought up towards that corner. So that is definitely the next thing we want to do. There's a lot of things here that just needs to be hooked up, and all of these things are sort of not super engaging to just watch me click 100 times. So let's take a look at it when we are a bit further ahead. Well, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is, look at this beautiful, well, not beautiful, that's the bad news. Look at this well-connected factory. Everything is now hooked up, things are working. Well, they're not working, but they're ready to work. They are super eager to get in. I have deliberately not connected this one, and the same over here. I have not connected the first one. So this is the good news, is that the factory is working. The bad news is pretty evident if you look at it. The aesthetics of this space has literally turned to shit. So, yeah, well, that's not something I can control. I can just hope that we can get another set of colors soon, because this is not looking great. It's looking like shit. So what we have now is we have a train ready here. I can drive it, right? Yeah, I can drive it. And the only thing we need at this point, if we look at, oh, hold on, actually I want to just show you. So we have now ready here for all of the stuff inbound. I'm bringing it in underneath and here. So there may be a few details that you're missing, because this is more of a showcase walkthrough on how I decided to build this, and hopefully that can inspire you to do some designs, like maybe like this, flyover, that kind of thing. But it also, if you are interested in copying this exact build, or just taking a look at how I did specific things, well, then I would recommend, well, I would say that if you are a patron, a supporter of the channel, then you will be able to just always download the maps. They are available through my Discord if you are a patron of this Protector rank. That's just how I do this, and I've been doing that for many years. It's something that just, I think a lot of people appreciate, that you can always get save games, and it just takes a bit of management. So therefore I make it as a privilege to this patron supporters. So thank you for everyone who's supporting, whether that is supporting because of access to save games, or supporting because they just want to support. Now, what we need to do is we need to jump on this train and go out into the wild and get working on the next builds. The next builds will be the mining for quartz and the mining for copper. So let's hitch a ride on our train and then see if we can get out to this location that is not even done. It's towards there or the other location. Oh, I jump back on the train. Here we go. Let's get there as far as we can. Here we are. We are now heading out towards the new location, the quartz facility, and I think I will try to not bump into the other train. I'll just start braking here, and we have a train already made. We made at this location, so let us go over here. So here we have the station. It is a very simple station. All we have is 2 locations for quartz set up to some normal quartz locations, overclocked to 240 each. Then we have the old setup that I'm just going to keep just for old time's sakes. It is raw quartz, so no processing takes place here. And then we have, at this point, I'm going to go in. This has set to raw quartz where it is. And then it's going to go to circuits raw quartz. And I will be turning on self-driving. Docking. Come on. You can do it. Next station. It's not okay. It's okay. Whew. Alright, here we go. Don't know why it took so long to figure out that it had to leave. So this will give us a... Oh, by the way, how about this color? Now that is a absolutely less shitty color for the factory. It is a glorious color. Very nice green, yellow-ish color and with a nice pink highlight. So here we have our factory. This is sort of the starter factory at the bottom, the space elevator, all of our power plants coming up here on the right hand side, and then our steel tower in front of us. Getting a good sense of what it is. And maybe you're thinking, isn't that a bit too many circuits? And to that I can only say, yeah, it is a bit too many circuits. It definitely is. But you know, once I start smashing them down, then there's just no stopping. Here we have all of our fuel generators, and up there, up top, we have our coal generators as well. And then we get into this more spaghetti-like part of the base, which is intended. We have our encased industrial beams. We have a beautiful hub up there, looking like a jellyfish with all the tentacles going down. We have to make a corner here, 45-degree corner, in order to get there. And we are coming in, slowing down because it's heading over here, has to clear the pass signal, and then it's going. Proceeding. And now I can see that there is a tiny problem here, that we don't have any of the what's it called? We don't have any of any signals here, but it's fine. When we only have one train, then it should be pretty easy to set something up. And as it is nighttime, then let's go find the copper train as we just get in here. It's such a shame that we just came in here just as night has fallen. Let's go there. Let's just have a look at the unloading. Oh man, this looks so good, this color in the harsh light of the flashlight. I wonder what all the containers, you pick up the containers and you put them in there. I wonder where those containers are going to be. What we're going to do with those afterwards. And they're gone. Alright, perfect. Let's go find the other train, the other resource. Now I didn't want to start here, but I have a unique opportunity to actually hit a dog with a train. And it did nothing. Damn it. Oh well. We are coming back here over to our copper location. And we're going to brake because we also have a copper train here. Let's get that out. And the copper train, you can see the copper outpost hasn't been online for as long, so they are still filling up here. There's some amount here, and I will go into the train. We will go in and add another schedule. That will be going back to copper, save changes, turn on, and it'll just do another load of whatever we have remaining. Harvest. It's still a bit of nighttime, but it looks pretty good. I really like the trains. It's just really nice. There we go. And we should be ready when it just goes up and hangs over the train. Here we go. We are ready to go. So this will now go back and we can then enjoy the ride. And what we can see here is I'm cutting it really, really close. Really close. Just cutting it close. And that's because this is the kind of the only place, but it also is pretty neat to do that, to cut it this close. Here we have another one of these intersections getting down to our main level, and then the main level will continue outwards to that location. Coming here, and then I can only hope that the other train is not in the way. Well, it is. It is. Of course it is. Where is the train? Here's the other train, and once that passes, then we can go over. The reason why we had to wait here for the other train to go away was because I still haven't done all of the circuits on the side, and that means that anything from this signal over to that other signal is actually one train block, which means that there can only be one train out here. That's one more thing that we need to solve, but first of all we need to make sure that our resources are going back up into the factory as they should, and we are coming in. Now it's like a very nice green color in this light. This light really has, or this color really changes a lot with the lighting. And I'm gonna go up here and just monitor that it gets unloaded correctly. It's looking good. So with that being unloaded, I can then take it over here. It merges all four of these evenly together and then dips it downstairs. That means we need to go out here to get a sense of what's actually coming in. We can see our raw quartz is already coming in, and we should be seeing the copper ore coming roaring in from this location. Come on. Alright, that's the train leaving. And here comes the copper ore. So now we have copper ore, we have the raw quartz, and we should also have the water available. That means we have all the things that we need in order to get this one done. The water is still missing a pump. So let's get the pump, and now that this goes all the way up, then it should be stalling as it goes up. So here we are, it's bright daylight and things, we can see what's going on. We have all of the signals made on this track, so everything is working perfectly. This is just standing idle. All we have here is the water, tons of water coming in, and all I need to do is just hook this up, and now we'll see that this is just rolling in at 480 per minute. And then I'll go all the way up here to the top, and we will see that these one will gradually start working. You can see here we are operational, green, 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 green. And if we go over here to the other side, we can see that the green is propagating all the way down, and that should be good. Then on the other side, because I only need 400 I need 400 iron ingots, I think, right? Wasn't that what I found out? Yeah, I think that was it. But then, is it? No, it's way less than that. So this one is going to be stacking up. You can already see it's almost fully up there. And we are also coming in here. Yeah, this is also working. So we are rushing our way forward. So let's start the next part as well. This will be the silica. Silica will now go in, and I can stand at this location, and they will see that it goes in. So here is one of the comments I get a lot of the time, like, why do I have slow belts and fast belts? So this is a perfect example. Like, this is a manifold, and the problem with manifold is that they tend to fill up the first ones quickly, and then only the rest goes down. Now, if I do this, I'm transporting in 480 per minute, and then I'm only branching 60 out to the side. 60 is plenty for each one, so I'm only branching 60. That means that it's still 420 going forward. Branches 60 to the side, 360 going forward, and so on and so forth. That means the manifold will fill up a lot quicker by having slow branches off the main line and having as fast as possible main line. It's also just one of those things that we got used to it. As slow as possible on the side, on the branches, as fast as possible on the main line. This one could be a level 4, and it would make no difference at all. But this is looking good. We are now coming over to the next part, and we can see that we are actually making circuits now. Looking at that, and we are getting circuits back here. We will be able to make 181 circuits per minute, but of course it's going to take quite a while to get all of the manifold filtered in, and that's going to be primarily this part here. I have 18 deep, and that means that even the last one is only getting like half of, it's getting 0.5 to the power of 18, which is rounded off to nothing until the first one starts stacking up and becoming full, which is going to take some minutes. So this is looking bright as always. The one thing we haven't done, or we're not going to do this, is actually make sure that we also get it back to our hub, because of course we need circuits back to our hub. This is a super important thing, and this will enable us to move forward into computers, whether it's going to be crystal computers or whatever it's going to be. I really like crystal computers. At least we have the circuit now, so that should be easier. Then we will be, after we build computers, then we have everything we need in order to unlock tier 7 and 8, and then it'll be aluminium and jetpacks and all of those things. So I hope that you like this space. I really like it. I think it's super nice, and the great thing about this is that everything here is ready to set up to make it 3 times as big. So if we want it, we can just build several floors up, and we have all the resources coming in. We have the logistics for it. We have everything we want. So that's it's easy to scale up, but at this point 181 per minute is more than enough for us. So if you have enjoyed it, if you made it all the way to the end, thank you very much for watching, and I hope that you will be hitting the like button to just show your appreciation, and then I will be very happy with that. If you for some reason have not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing. There are tons of different factory games and simulation games here on the channel, and I try to do my best to both focus on some games, but also sort of find some new games for us that could be interesting for you as well. So that's what you can expect here on the channel. On Twitch, you can expect a lot of design and work and talk about other things. So also consider coming over there. Thank you very much for watching. Until next time, take care. And as always, stay effective.